Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is the first time of stopping by. Hi, nice meeting you for the first time. Please consider subscribing to my channel. To my old subscribers, I say thank you very much for all your support. So in today's video, we'll be making this shirt gather gown for our princesses today. If something you're interested in, please watch to the end, and I will see you at the end of the video. For this tutorial, we'll be cutting our front bodice first before transferring to our back bodice because of the alteration there. And before cutting it, you make sure that whatever you're folding, you have 2.5 inches extra plus your bust measurement divided by 4, then extra. In fact, you have to have about 5 inches extra with your normal measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and take my half length, and my half length is 12 inches plus 2 inches allowance for joining of the gather and joining of the shoulder. And this gown is for a princess of 8 years. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out 2.5 inches from my center front. This will serve as our button and buttonhole allowance. So I made a line there, and our measurement is starting from that line that I marked, the 2.5 inches line I marked. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and take the half of my shoulder measurement. I'm not adding any allowance to it. I'm going to be taking out of that 6 inches to fold in the allowance. I want it to be a little bit away from my shoulder, and that 6 inches shoulder divided by 2 is what I went down with for my armhole line. And after my armhole line, I'm going to go ahead and then mark the 6 inches as well so that I can connect the line. Then for my neckline, I mark out 2 inches for the length and 2 inches for the width. So I'm going to go ahead and make a curve for to give it a round neck. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to go down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. If you're watching my video, you must have been familiar with this. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch allowance for ease. I don't like my shirt dress being so fitted, so that's why I'm adding 1 inch. But if you want yours to be fitted, you can just mark your bust measurement divided by 4 plus your allowance. And I did the same thing for my waistline as well. Connected the line and then connected my armhole curve. And that's all for the front bodice for now. I hope you are enjoying this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and please consider and give me a thumbs up, please. If you are enjoying this tutorial, don't forget to share my videos to family and friends. Thank you very much. So we are going to go ahead and mark our back bodice, and for this back bodice, we are going to first of all fold in the 2.5 inches that we marked on our front bodice before placing it on another fabric for our back, and the fabric is also folded into 2. So the next thing I did is to mark my shoulder line, trace out my shoulder line from the front bodice. The front bodice is still there, but since the fabric is not the back, the back side of the fabric is not so different. That's why you can't really notice. So for my back neckline, I went back down by 1 inch and then connected it to the front with neckline. So the next thing you're going to do is to deduct 1 inch from the front neckline. When you look at your shirt or your shirts, you see that the shirt kind of moved towards the front part. So this is the excess of deducting 1 inch from the front body. Then that 1 inch I deducted, I'm going to replace it to the back bodice. From the shoulder line that we traced out, I'm going to replace it, then add extra 1 inch for the joining. That's what I am marking from the shoulder line. Remember, you're marking this from the slanted shoulder line that you traced out, and I'm going to go ahead and connect the neckline upward to that 2 inches that I marked. And that's all for the back bodice as well. If you don't understand anything or there's any confusion on anything, please don't forget to drop a comment below for me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Then I went ahead to open up the front bodice because it's a shirt, so it has to be open at the center front. Then the next thing we are going to do is to create a channel for our buttonhole and our button. And for this, we are folding at first 1/2 inch and then fold over by 1 inch. First fold is 1/2 inch, then second fold is 1 inch. The remaining 1 inch, you are going to use it to overlap the front bodice for our buttonhole and our buttons. I hope you understand this. So I'm going to go ahead and trace out and cut out the excess there. The reason for leaving this excess while cutting is so that when you are done folding it, you don't have shortage of fabric at that area. So that's why I most times I leave it, and then when I'm done folding it, I can just cut it out. So this is the way it's going to look when you are done. You're going to overlap it if you want to. It doesn't really change anything. Then the next thing we're going to do is to arrange the fabric front facing front and then stitch on our shoulder line. And this is it after I was done stitching. You see, when you pull it down to meet the waistline, you can see that the back is coming towards the front. Yes, that's the idea of deducting and adding to the back that we did earlier. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to use my fabric bias to turn the neckline. So what I'm going to do is to stitch this first stitch all the way around. Then when I was done, you can go ahead and notch it at that cuff area. Then you flip it to the back, make the first fold, and then make the second fold the cover of the rough edges, and then also stitch it all the way around. And this is it after I was done stitching the armhole. The next thing we are going to do is to arrange the body. Front facing front as usual, and use our measurement, our allowance to stitch the two sides. And this is it after stitching the two sides. We are going to go ahead and work on the gathers. And for my gathers, I have double of my waist measurement plus few inches. So what we did at the bodice, we are going to repeat it at our gather part to create the buttonhole and button channel. So you fold by 1/2 inch and then fold by 1 inch, then stitch it all the way through. Then you're going to go ahead and hem this by 1.5 inches. The remaining 1/2 inch is what we are going to use to attach it to the bodice. And this is it after we are done with the stitching. The next thing we're going to do is to run a loose stitch at the upper side and then gather our fabric to be the exact measurement with our waistline. So this is how it's going to overlap, just like the bodice after we are done with the sewing. So before we go ahead to gather our fabric, we're going to measure our neckline, our waistline, and our waistline is going to start after the buttonhole, just like I showed you guys. We are going to start after that and measure all the way through. The reason for starting there is because you already have your the buttonhole channel on our gather part, so there's no need in doing that, including it into your gather. So when I was done gathering it, you can see it. When I was done, my buttonhole channel wasn't gathered, so I'm going to go ahead and mash up the buttonhole area with the bodice and then stitch the remaining fabric all the way from one side to the other. And this is it after I was done stitching it down. The next thing we are going to do is for the collar, and for the collar I'm going to go ahead and measure my neckline, and this measuring includes the buttonhole channel, we're going to measure everything, the neckline. And for here, for this one, I have 15 inches. So I have gone ahead to cut out my collar. If you want a tutorial on how I cut out this collar, is on my channel already. The link is going to pop up on this video now, and I'll also include it in the description blog post, so please check it out. So I went ahead to add my facing interfacing to one of my fabrics. If you like, you can add to the two depending on how thick you want it or light you want it. I'm going to go ahead and stitch on this part that I just showed you guys. This is my collar, and the other one is my collar stand. And this is it after prepping it for attaching. The next thing you're going to do is to get our gather, our gown, I'm going to go ahead and mark ½ inch around our neckline, so that when we are attaching this, we don't make mistake of attaching maybe 1 inch at one side, ½ inch at the other side, ¼ inch at the other side. So we will make sure that what we are attaching is equal at all around. So after marking the ½ inch, I've already marked the center of my collar. I'm going to fold my gown into two, make a notch at the center, and then match it at the center of my collar. Use my pin to hold it all around. You can as well go straight to your sewing machine to stitch this down, but for me, I prefer holding it with my pin. It's a lot easier to do. So I'm going to go ahead, hold it with my pin at the center, and then pin it all the way around before going to my sewing machine to stitch it down. And this is it after I was done stitching it down, and the gown is looking beautiful. If you're going to try this video, please don't forget to tag me on my Instagram handle, and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please give me a thumbs up as well if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and share my videos to family and friends as well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. So we're going to attach our buttonhole and button at that area. I don't have the machine at home. I'll be taking it to the market to do that. But that's all for this gown. See you in my next video. Bye.